Oh shit. I forgot what I was supposed to do. What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. I actually gotta get some fucking gas. I'm sitting here. Anyway, I'm about to see the Superman movie in about an hour. Actually 9. But I'm gonna skip the damn. So we're gonna have a conversation. Shout out to Fawcett Media. Didn't disappoint with the Corey Holcomb light review. Corey Holcomb went the more I told you so approach versus the scorched earth approach, which is still good. One of the things that he said, and we're talking Cheyenne Bryant and Paul Pierce Aftermath. One of the things that she said, shout out to Fantastic too. I saw that the Ask a Brother, Jeff, my name is Jeff, is was on there. And shout out to Jeff, Jeff St. James for he's definitely making the rounds. It's funny because now people are starting to make the Chitlin circuit. But Corey Holcomb last night, Tuesday, called out not just Cheyenne Bryant, but all the dudes that make her popular as far as the podcasting, which is kind of funny because, and I really hesitate to bring up Pearl because every time niggas bring up Pearl, niggas always act like the biggest thing that I can't stand about a lot of dudes and the Pearl situation, and it really took a lot for me not to cuss niggas out over that, it's just the absolute disingenuous certain niggas was coming with it, and they were arguing shit that they know good and fucking well niggas was not doing. They were like, Jason Black comes to mind. Like any nigga that was out here saying that Pearl basically came up off a black man, as far as I'm concerned, you a bitch ass nigga, you a fucking liar. Because I don't like niggas that it's one thing to lie once, but when you do a campaign of lying, that's some dishonorable shit. I don't give a fuck what the reason is, because niggas always think they got a justification. And honestly, I may have watched a couple of shows from Jason Black since then, and that was like a year ago, maybe like 2 years ago, because I lost a lot of respect. Jason Black wasn't the only one, by the way, but I lost a lot of respect for him because it was like, wow, you niggas are some real jealous-hearted niggas. And you will actually run game on your own audience, because I don't that ain't no different than what Tommy Sotomayor would do it. It's just a slicker way of doing it. That's all. It's a more subtle way of doing it. But trying to sit here and say anybody, basically the play was, and people had different plays they were running, but the overall play was that everybody from Kevin Samuel's side, these niggas are really some coons. These niggas are really, they tried to do the same thing that black women do, which, by the way, niggas on that side don't call out enough how much ass that black women kiss of white women. Just because white women get mad at black men fucking white women, that's more black women getting mad at black men versus white women. Most of the gynocracy is built off funds that are distributed from white women. This is why you got all these intersectional feminists and all of these are at the top of that is not necessarily men. Those are white women. Then you get to white men. But that shit never, as much as black women try to act like they don't like white women, they never call out black women that collude with white women. They don't. And so, and the men don't never call that out like they should either. But niggas, this argument that black men are basically the foot soldiers of white men. You niggas know that's a goddamn lie. And any nigga that says that is a fucking liar. And I don't want to fuck Myron. Myron is Sudanese. You don't see hardly nobody in this space defending Myron. Myron ain't going nowhere regardless of what niggas do. So at the end of the day, if people comment on certain things he has said because of the response, then that's one thing. But this idea that niggas actually support Myron, these are lies. And a lot of the audiences of these people, whether it's like, you know who these people, some of these people are, and some of them are big, some of them small. These niggas, you all are stupid as fuck. You all are you all have the emotional intelligence and emotional maturity of like a fucking high schooler. Because a lot of this shit comes back to high school. It really does. This kind of clickety-clack bullshit that people used to do in high school. Where, you know, being an adult, logic don't matter. And this ain't even about Jason Black. I'm just giving an example because he was the main one really leading that charge on, he was the one really leading that charge on, he was the one leading that charge on, really fucking going after, you know, our space under a lie. It's not caught in somebody lacking. It was a lie. And it was a lot of dudes for their own reason. They basically created a lot of dust over that. Right? And to the point where niggas like, oh man, you fuck with that white woman. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm sorry you niggas are not where you think you need to be on this internet. I'm sorry that you niggas don't think you get what you deserve online. But this shit where niggas be just straight crashing out and trying to blow up the space, you know, that shit I don't respect. I don't. Because I don't respect. Because everybody know good and goddamn well that bitch Pearl did not come up in this space. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because, like, why do I bring that out of nowhere? It's because Cheyenne Bryant is actually a perfect example of how you plant some shit. She's actually an example because you got to think about it. She's not doing her own. Cheyenne Bryant doesn't do her own channel. If you notice, Cheyenne Bryant doesn't do her own shit. What Cheyenne Bryant does is she on everybody else's shit. And the main reason she's really able to do that is because she's a female. And they know females don't have the same kind of, you know, standards that men do as far as what they got to show. All women got to do is tell these bitches what they want to hear. And dudes, because you niggas aren't leading shit, you niggas do the same shit as the church. You all make money off the matriarchy. These niggas are not interested in the community being competitive. These niggas basically look to cash in on bitch thought. Not understanding that that's a big reason why the community is where it is today. These niggas are not trying to upset the matriarchal apple cart. And that's a big reason why the black community never wants to really talk about the matriarchy. Because if you talk about the matriarchy, then you got to talk about who actually facilitates it and keeps it running. Then you got to talk about matriarchal niggas. Then niggas are going to have to choose a side. That's why I like the paternity fraud situation so much. Because paternity fraud is they can't argue against it. It forces you. You can't argue against it. You can't defend it. And if dudes sit there and if they even attempt to try to defend that shit, they try to attempt to defend it. You automatically expose where you are. So even if a nigga is trying to try, even if it looks like he's looking for an opening, like he got the energy, like he's looking for an outlet to try to defend these chicks. That's why motherfuckers just don't talk about it. That's one thing we gotta raise up raise the tide on that, because it really exposes how much it really exposes to me female supremacy. That's what a lot of these chicks are really on. It really exposes that. And I love it, because a lot of dudes hide behind feminism, and they don't look, man. It's not here about men being on top. It's really about a system that actually works for both parties, because a lot of things in America, regardless of race, we cannot move forward on because these things are not solved. And if they don't get solved, it's not going to always be like time. This is not about, well, I don't want women to be in charge, I want men. It's not about that. It's about actually moving forward. And we can't move forward because you got women that want to hold on to this bullshit ass thing they call power, because they're thinking of in the immediate, because they want to act like kids. So when you look at Cheyenne Bryant and you look at what Paul Pierce did, all these dudes could have did that, but the reality is they're not going to do that, because they got to protect their own. They're going to protect their own brands. That's why they're not going to call her out. And women just go along with it, because women don't care. As far as women concerned, they want to feel. And to be fair, there have been some women, especially after her outing with Paul Pierce, it's like, I can't do it. But women love being lied to. The fact that Derrick Jackson still exists, perfect example. Women love being lied to. They love being told what they want to hear. It is sugar to them. It is emotional sugar. And they are not getting off of that. It doesn't matter if their teeth falls out, aka their quality of life. It doesn't matter. They will be 60 fucking years old. They will lie. You gotta understand, a lot of these women will lie to the day they die. They will be in delusion to the day they die. And dudes cannot accept that, most of these chicks, they are not coming off that bullshit. Yeah, they will die on that lie, yo. That it is what it is. And people, and a lot of dudes can't accept that because of their own save-a-hoe syndrome, the hero complex, whatever, man. So, Corey Holcomb went in, and what Corey Holcomb was calling out is two people Corey Holcomb called out. One is he called out a lot of the dudes that platformed her when platformed her. And the other thing he called out was the fact that she erased a lot of her social media that she could. The other thing, and by the way, these are the same people, that they made sure they dug in as deep as they could with Kevin Samuels, right? Because they don't like it. It wasn't about what he said. It was about invalidating it. You got to invalidate the person if you can't invalidate the talking point, which is why they try to say Paul Pierce is an incel, and I got a correction. Paul Pierce isn't married anymore. But Paul Pierce was married for a long time. And so they want to call him names and shit. If you call Paul Pierce an incel, that's code. You're a femcel. That's most likely you're a femcel. That's why you even using that term like that. You just don't, it becomes these terms we throw out. We just throw out. You don't even really hear incel even used in this space like that. The other thing that he called out, that I've talked about this briefly, is women that yuck it up with women they know are full of shit. And I call that circling the wagons. That's not my term, but the term really is when women circle the wagons around other women that are in the wrong. And I would love to ask her, why did you actually agree with that shit? Seriously though. Cause and people like the chick that was there. And here's the funny thing about it. Women will forever tell you some but not all. But when y'all get in the same room, all of y'all are on the same page. I'm gonna say that again. Women will forever tell you to give you the some but not all bullshit, but you get them in the same room and they start hiding about shit, they are on the same page. They are way more on the same page than men are. Men look for where is the delineation or the separation, even in ideas. Women sync up, but they not all the same. And that's why, and if a woman is disagreeing with it, then they will literally gang up on that woman. They will literally gang up on that woman, and they will try to bully her, at least in the moment. Bully her. And this is so bad that it's to the point where even in the Bible, leave and cleave. If you got women that are not married and you're married, you really shouldn't even be around women that are not married. Why? Because those women are going to gravitationally pull you out of your marriage. On some FOMO shit, some fear of missing out shit. The fact that shit was in the Bible tells you that shit has been around, that concept has been around for a long fucking time. Yeah, it is general. It's not an absolute, Michael, but you get what I'm saying. And so that some but not all shit is and by the way, when you notice how women always love to say black men, like all black men are the same. Now, as black men, we know we're talking about the niggas you fuck with, because the nigga, there's men that you're sexually attracted to, and then everybody else is invisible. So men are understand this on game, understanding when you say black men, you're talking about the niggas you like. Which is why women say, oh, most of these niggas got kids, because the niggas you fucking got kids. Most of the niggas you're sexually attracted to, in your mind, has already been sexually validated. So by putting by a woman, it's not about a nigga putting a baby in a bitch. It's really about a woman. It's really more so about a woman getting a baby out of a dude. It's really more so a woman select. That's another. And by the way, that's another, because other women don't really speak like that. That's another way how you know that black women are generally the choosers of who's gonna. Women are not giving men babies. Women are having babies for their own purposes. They're having kids. They're so when these chicks talk about a man got them pregnant, that's bullshit. They wanted to get pregnant by him. That is very different. That is a very different dynamic. These women are going out of their way. These women go out of their way when they want a kid to get a kid out of a certain nigga. Whoever that is. They are very much driving that ship. And that shit never gets talked about. It's always seen as men are just out here impregnating women. Even with a Nick Cannon. All them women knew what the deal was, and they took it. It is a greater responsibility for a woman to guard her womb than it is for a man to be sexually disciplined. Obviously, a man is supposed to be sexually disciplined for his own quality of life and his own situation. So he's accountable to the outcomes that come along with him spreading his seed irresponsibly. However, from a macro standpoint, because we're all accountable to our own outcomes, but from a macro standpoint, it is more on women are given the rights, the laws, the body autonomy. And I don't want to hear that bullshit about they can't kill kids at random. The reality is, if they really want to get if they really want to have an abortion, they can. that dudes are getting me pregnant and all that, that's a way to deflect their responsibility. That's all that is. And all you have to do, if you don't believe what I'm saying, you could ask a woman a random ass question like, is anything ever your fault? And they're gonna act like, they're not gonna say, yeah, there's some things. They're not gonna say that. They're gonna not know what to say. Because in their mind, nothing's never their fault. That's what they really believe. Nothing is never their fault. And if you're dealing with somebody where nothing is ever their fault, you can't deal with that. No, those are two different people, Vega. You got like, and let me be very clear, any woman that's out here saying there's something that must be, it's a red flag for you to be a certain age that don't have kids, that's a whore. That's a hoe. That's a chick where sexual chemistry, she puts sexual chemistry above anything and everything. So, and that's fine, but when you hear women say that, that is not a woman that you commit to. That is not a woman you commit to. That's just a bitch you fuck. And that's all she's looking for. Whether she say it or not, because that's what she's selecting for. And that's fine. But that's a chick that, you know, if that's all you never commit to a chick like that. Because sexual chemistry is the only thing she cares about. And I promise you, she cares about that above everything else. Because that's what she's looking for. And I'm not saying if you're willing to date a man with kids, that's who you are. But what I am saying is if it's to the point where you're willing to actually verbalize or give a certain reaction, oh, you don't have kids, what's wrong with you? That means that's what, like, that's 80% of the pie chart for her. And that's fine. But these chicks always wonder, why are they side chicks? Why are they in these types of situations? It's because that's who they are. And they don't like to admit that, but that's what they are. And those are certain tells. And notice how you never heard a woman argue with another woman. Like a woman that says, because you know, you'll have certain women, they'll say, oh, I don't want a man with kids. Which a lot of them chicks are lying. A lot of them chicks, because the word games that them chicks will play is they'll say they don't want a man with kids, but they'll have sex with a man. They'll have sex with a man that has kids. That's the game that they like to play on that front. Yeah. So anyway, no, I'm still here. It's not a YouTube update. YouTube has always done this. It's just most people don't go to stream. Most people don't stream directly from YouTube. Anyway. Yeah, but Corey Cook doing that. And it is what it is. Like, we gonna see what this dude St. James say. Which is funny, because these women gonna start testing his ass. They gonna get mad. Somebody gonna try to get rude with him. Because you already know what that is. Because like the way these women look at it is, you either female identified or male identified. That's how they see it. And St. James, he may know how to talk to women, but they see him as male identified. Like, you look at that stream where he was on the Lapeef, that chick, that video to starting that short, you could tell that chick was real. When he said that black women are on the bottom, they did not want to hear that. And it's like, yo, the truth is, that is what it is. They're not necessarily on the bottom for black men, but when it comes to all men, it's like how he said, and he prefaced it by saying Asian men are at the bottom, black men are number 2. They didn't like that. And people say, well, why is black men number 2? Because a lot of Hispanics Hispanics are white. So usually, if a Hispanic man is beating out a black man, it's because he look more white. They talk about the Mexicans. That's who they talking about. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. All right, I got you. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, man. She's starting to lose some women though, and like I said, man, when she get her own show, when she does her own show, that shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, cause dudes ain't gonna, cause you know you'll have some dudes ain't gonna be like the average audience. Shout out to Jada Aesthetic for the $5. The average audience, dudes ain't gonna really be tripping over her bullshit, and you'll have certain content creators that'll make videos about it, cause you know that's the thing to do. But ultimately, women trying to push her, a lot of these shit's gonna be out here looking stupid, because when you really think about the shit she say, when she has her own show, the more she talks, the more you realize she just talking shit. She ain't really saying shit. And see, you can get that high off of her arguing with like celebrity men, like trying to tell them off. You're creating broken homes. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to tell y'all. That Corey said. They said, well, I don't know if it's Corey, it might have been Fawcett Media. No, it was Fawcett Media said it. Let me get proper credit. Fawcett Media said that they never count women leaving marriages and blowing up marriages as broken homes. Tia Mowry, whichever the chick that was married to Corey Hardrick, I don't know if it was Tia Mowry or Tamara, she broke her home. When you break up, if you leave a marriage and abuse didn't happen or cheating didn't happen, bitch, you broke your home. And 80% of these divorces are being activated by women. But see, that don't count as breaking homes. That don't count. And even with a lot of these women talking about broken homes, let's keep it all the way real. This is what they don't like to talk about either. You talk about creating a broken home, but the reality is that if you choose to have a baby with a man that is not, this is what I'm saying now. When you choose to have a baby with a man before marriage, you broke the home too. Because the reality is, you both know what raw sex is. And let's not act like, and that's another thing that Cheyenne lies about. Black women don't like raw. Black women do not like protected sex. And they don't like, as a group, they don't like birth control. So if you don't allow you, so if we want to play that broken home game, that a man is not forcing a woman into a broken home. You are not supposed to have a man's baby unless he marries you, because that is a man declaring his commitment to you, and that will work. And it's proven to work because men are generally not leaving these marriages. You are the one that basically authorized the breaking of the home. They act like men are just putting babies on these chicks and they don't have free will. These women want there is not a baby that gets born that these bitches don't want that kid. Because if they really don't want that kid, they are going to have an abortion. Don't talk to me about what fucking state that bitch is in, because if that bitch really don't want to have a kid, that bitch will find a way to have an abortion. So don't fucking talk to me as quiet as it's kept. A lot of these liberal states where black people are in, you motherfuckers can still have abortions. And even in a lot of the southern states, you can still have abortions. You just can't have late terms. That's what nobody wants to talk about. So these women, they talk about concepts so they can win an argument, so they can argue you down. That's all that is. And that's why a lot of times motherfuckers don't even want to talk to their ass. Because it's like, yo, you convincing you don't matter. It really don't. That's why, we talk to the men. So, I mean, at the end of the day, she lying to women. I mean, ultimately, dudes know what she be saying is bullshit. So, ultimately, women are gonna be the one to pay the price for that. Just like y'all paid the price for listening to Keratin for 10 years. Y'all listened to Keratin for 10 years. Keratin couldn't even stand on her own shit. Keratin couldn't tell these bitches, I got a white man. This is what it asks. Y'all do y'all want a white man, or y'all just want to say niggas ain't shit? Because if Keratin really believed in her mission like that, she should have told black women, look, man, everybody's welcome to listen, but I'm only taking seriously women that are looking to expand their options. If you rather argue with black men all day, I ain't got nothing for you. I'm not gonna hold back what I think about black men, but this ain't the niggas ain't shit show. This is the how to get a white man show. How to go beyond black and white show. But unfortunately, you can't go beyond black and white if you still on niggas ain't shit. And she should have said, why would a white man want to be with a black woman that is still obsessed with black men? They talk about that decenter black men, but they never can shut the fuck up talking about black men. Part of decentering black men is stop blaming black men for everything that's wrong with you. Stop blaming black men, because when you blame black men, you have centered black men as the reason for everything wrong in your life. You have given, that's a lot of power. This is why there's a lot of energy put into keeping black men in check, because black men, SYSBM is not about blaming black women. SYSBM is about moving on. Passport Bros ain't about blaming black women. Passport Bros is about moving on. Passport Bros is a now what situation. The red pill is just the truth. SYSBM is what you do with it. Passport Bros is what you do with it. MGTOW is what you do with it. What's up, Compassionate Callous? That'd be like compassionate call-outs. that nigga like, damn, nigga, what the fuck? They want to talk about decenter. I mean, these are the same shit. You don't see them. Notice how you don't see none of these women clowning females for going overseas in places where black men are known to propagate. If that ain't no pick-me energy, pity of pick-meism. Bitch, you flew all the way across the world to deal with some nigga that you probably following the top 10 niggas ain't shit YouTube channels. You probably listen to niggas ain't shit. Where was that Thanos thing? Y'all went all around the world, and where did that bring you? Fucking back to me. Somebody need to put that on AI and make it 3 black women. 3 different Keishas. A black female Captain Marvel, the chick from Riri from Ironheart, and then do a black Thor. Do like a Mary Marvel black woman version. I may create that. And then you do a black man with a white beater and a cigarette coming out his mouth like he a Tyler Perry villain. Bitch, you talked all that bullshit, And where did that leave you? Back to me. Hoes pull up in the Keisha Avengers vehicle, which is a Nissan Altima, limo style. Riri got the Keisha stones. You know, I don't know what Thor's hammer is. I would say a hot cone, but we had to work on that. Yeah. I mean, y'all, like, that is some of the goofiest shit. That is some of the goofy, like, you're hard pressed to even believe that's real. You going to Thailand? Why the fuck are you going to Thailand? You not going to Thailand to fuck these Thai dudes. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You ain't attracted to 80% of men, but you fucking Thai motherfuckers? Thai? What? You fucking tie-dyed it? What are we doing? But you ain't attracted to 80%. Like, it's funny, man. Like, some of these places, Colombia, the fuck you doing in Colombia? You do realize they see better looking black women every day that they don't fuck with. The fuck you, what do you think you gonna get in Colombia? So basically you traveling and spend money on dick. You might as well take your ass to Jamaica. At least get something, get something for it. Shit. But low key, they overworking Jamaica to the point where them Jamaican black women are starting to get mad. Don't let them start calling y'all out. Man, Corey Holcomb, I said this and I believe Corey. Corey said that nigga ain't real. Corey said Cheyenne Bryant be fucking hoes. Cheyenne Bryant be fucking women. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. I believe Cheyenne Bryant is basically Cheyenne Bryant is the quintessential bitch that basically fumbled her looks, fumbled her youth. That's who Cheyenne Bryant is. Cheyenne Bryant actually looks decent, but she fumbled that shit because she thought she looked, basically, unless Cheyenne Bryant wanted a celebrity nigga, and if she couldn't get a celebrity nigga that was gonna just commit to her, she didn't want it. Maybe Cheyenne, your peak, you did not look good enough to necessarily think you just was gonna get a celebrity nigga. You're not that chick. I don't know. Ryan Leslie would have been a godsend for you, and Ryan Leslie was able to get Cassie. So I mean, like, these women be thinking I look good, I should know. And you think I'm bullshit? Now who the fuck are you? I'll give you a perfect example. Kelly Rowland looked lightning years better than Cheyenne Bryant. Better look, better body, better shape. She got kids and still had her shit together. Look who I ain't trying to shit on that brother. I really am not. But look at who Kelly Rowland with. Look who Kelly Rowland with. If that's good enough for Kelly Rowland, get the fuck out of here, man. They don't understand. There is never a nigga that's good enough. When y'all got niggas never good enough syndrome, what that's really cold for, you get a white dude, that psycho babble goes in their head. Oh, I'm with Maximilian. You would never be with a black version of that. A pudgy ass, you would never be with a black version of that. Even with the same money. But they always talking about how much black men like white women. Projection like a motherfucker. projecting like hell. That's why they had something to say about Simone Biles. You don't never hear these bitches say anything about any black female. I'm surprised they ain't talk shit about Coco Jones being with Donovan Mitchell. You don't never see black women say anything about a black woman being with any white boy. You didn't hear black women say nothing about Megan Good being with that dude that looked like he was homeless. You don't never hear it. Like, seriously, when is the last time have you ever heard a black woman say it ain't it when it comes to a non-black man, let alone white dude? Like, I'm deadly serious. When is the last time have you ever heard any woman with a nut? You don't hear, like, even the dude with Serena Williams with. It never. It doesn't matter who it is. Kamala Harris, it don't matter. You never heard it. I'm trying to dig deep in my memory bank. I cannot remember a single black female with a white boy. These chicks don't even comment on when these white boys be killing these bitches. The football player, they just don't talk about it. And you know, even when the stories be going viral, they don't talk about it. Cause what? Now let a black man hit a, oh, it's everywhere. They don't talk about it. And this has been consistent. None of them chicks talk about it. And it's like, okay. Cause you think them white boys don't be seeing that? You think they don't, like, I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all low key aiding and abetting that shit. Low key. You ain't never heard it. But let Simone Biles get with an NFL football player, all crap. Haley Bailey, all crap. You ain't never heard it. I agree with that, Can boy. I agree with that. I mean, people, all of a sudden, people act like they ain't never been in no party. People ain't never seen these women out here. Dude, I did 10,000. I've been to parties. I did 10,000 Uber rides, man. Like, dude, you have no idea. Like dudes act like, now everybody like act like they the squarest of squares. My question is, why didn't Cassie couldn't leave? Are you serious? Because you know, black men, like, this ain't the 80s or the 70s, man. Where, like, men and black men ain't never had that kind of power, yo. They still trying to do the passport, sis. They still trying to do that. I mean, truth be told, passport sis was never going to work because black women, it's not controversial for black women to travel, and black women have been traveling. Black women have been going to Gambia, Jamaica, all these, you know, everywhere white women have gone to get black dick, they've gone. But it's not controversial when women do it. And so that's why it's not novel. So it's not, so there's no need for quote unquote passport sis because women, it's called girls trips. It's called girls trips. These women have been, I mean, look, women traveling so much, Carnival is tired of their ass. You think that's black men? No, Carnival is tired of black women. Ain't nobody even been talking, book lessons, ain't nobody even been talking about that. The fact that Carnival is changing their rules because they're tired of these motherfuckers. They want to call that racism. That's not racism. That's what happens when you let your culture, when you all just start, see, that's what happens when y'all start wearing bonnets. Like when you take hard R, because that's what it is. It's hard R culture. And I'm sorry, I get it, but we got to call that what it is. it does get to, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again, it gets to a level, of certain stuff that goes down where at this point is, you can call it black redneck culture if you want to be politically correct, but I'm not even gonna do all that. I'm gonna call it hard R culture. It's hard R culture. Like at some point, it's like if you're throwing down. I'm not saying white people don't do stupid stuff too. They do, but I'm talking about us now. You getting to the point where Carnival, y'all sat there, and that's on Carnival too, for letting a lot of that slide. As long as they did, it's the same thing with Brickell. And then black women go to Miami and be like, oh, they're racist there. Yeah, they are, but y'all make it easy for them to be racist. Y'all make it easy for them to justify it. Y'all make it real easy for them to justify it. Y'all think that you can be overweight. You think that they gonna make an exception for you, like that body positivity bullshit means something where the Cubans own and control the shit down there. The reason they let you do that shit here is because they want you to undermine your own men. This is why when you leave, you can't do that. They don't let you. Because you're not in the zone where you're allowed to undermine your own men. But that never dawns on them. So y'all, they really be thinking, just like when women say, I'm a female. Like when women get hemmed up by the police, I'm a female. Like it's this declaration that like, you're like, why do you say that? Like you really think that's supposed to give you some superseded status? I'm a female. This is racist. So, like, I wonder what you gonna do if they say that. Oh, well, I'm gonna crash out. Okay, what if you in an area where if you crash out, you gonna be snatched up real quick? It is all about the green, but the problem is black women have degraded the damn product by, and it's not all, obviously it's not all black women, but my point is they have degraded the product basically by acting like they don't have no fucking home training. And people say, well, it's not all black women. The problem is it's not enough black women to call that out. So you incentivize the behavior. See, if black men do some goofy shit, black men are gonna call it out. If not for nothing else, then to say, this ain't it. I don't agree with this shit. So you gotta do what you gotta do. That's what black men to do. I mean, that's why a lot of niggas, I'm not saying I agree with every little thing Dennis Sperling say, but that's why a lot of niggas don't like Dennis Sperling. Because Dennis Sperling made it very clear. I agree with handling you niggas in the worst way. And the funny thing is, Umar said some similar shit. Even though Umar is more of a blue collar dude. Well, technically not, because he's a doctor or whatever, but Umar be having identified with blue collar sensibilities. Umar said the same thing. Umar said, you can't talk to all these young dudes. Some of them you have to blow away. Now, it's funny how this is the same dude that hugged up on Sukiyana. So for him, it ain't never a chick that's too far gone. It ain't never a chick that's too far gone. But we do, it's off. Not understanding that these chicks will just self-replicate and be having the dudes, the very dudes that you talking about. That never dawns on him because, hey, there ain't no such thing as a woman that's beyond saving. It's just not. Yeah, it's not going to be tolerated. And yet they keep on trying it. That's why Ari Lennox got hemmed up. All right, y'all, I'm out. I'll let y'all know what I think about this movie. Peace out.